Yeah, very much so. It's one of the focuses that I wanted to bring into this year's conference. I've been doing some work with Neil Reveley from the Association of Directors of Social Services, so the care side of the local authorities, because how can we work together? We've got some great offerings. How do we get that story and that message out there, and real collaboration between the different parts of the sector? So we'll be looking to hear from some speakers in this area. Planning is another area clearly where there's huge interaction between local government and the different operators, whether they're in the not-for-profit sector or for profit. So again, how can we try and unlock some of the barriers to the growth of the sector? Yeah, I think, and we are seeing, I mean, diversity, I think, has a number of facets within this topic area. And last year we had some great feedback that we were one of the first conferences to really raise the subject, particularly around racial diversity and different offerings for BAME households. So we are going to be picking that theme up again and running with it and seeing, and I'm looking forward to hearing from Housing 21. Bruce Moore's going to be one of our speakers. He's going to be got a number of things he may be speaking on the day, but I do know that Housing 21 have done some really good work here, so we'll look forward to hearing from that. But also diversity is the different range of offerings, the different tenures that the sector's doing, and I think here the sector has an increasingly good story to tell about how it's meeting the very diverse needs of the old population. So that again will be picked up a number of times through the day. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, part of the backdrop to the conference is the task force for older persons housing, which finally has been set up after being long called for and even agreed nearly 2 years ago by the government. So it's great to see that in place. I think a lot of what they will be talking about is some of that policy background and some of those barriers at the more institutional level. So yeah, we'll be hoping to hear from that where they've got to. We'll be about halfway into the progress of the task force. So I think that will pick up some of that policy background that you mentioned there. I mean, key aspects that always get mentioned, I've alluded to it in a previous answer, is around planning. It's one of the big barriers to securing the flow of sites through to development that we need to look at. But it isn't the only one. It is, again, how we can work better. And some of this is a policy at sort of top level government, but some of it is the working relationships with people on the ground that we need to foster and improve. One of the key things I want to achieve with the conference is actually um, have a more engaging form of the conference. So more opportunity for questions from the floor and debate and engagement. And I've referred to having some audience participation very specifically in that future gazing piece. So this is a conference for people who want to turn up and be involved in helping shape, not to sit back and listen to lectures on from the podium. Very much an engaging style. We'll have cabaret style tables, so you get to that real chance to engage with the people that you're sat with, as well as frequent networking breaks as well. So good opportunity to see some of our exhibitors and sponsors, and talk to your peers in the sector, and others across other parts of the sectors that you may not have met before. So that real chance to come and learn, take part, and engage. Well, we've really tried to listen to the feedback, and much of what I've said in previous answers is picking up on some of those themes. So making more of the style of the day and more engaging, more chance to ask questions and have them answered, will be very much part of it. We talked earlier about the technology, and we're going to have a session again focusing on that, making it practical though. How can you succeed in the use of technology? Was some of the feedback we perhaps were a little theoretical. How can we make it practical and real? And continuing on that journey of diversity in all the different facets of tenure, housing types, and the customers that we're looking to solve. So really building on all of those. And another area that I just want to mention that we're probably going to have a focus on within the conference agenda is around regeneration of schemes. So there's a lot of the stock in the retirement housing market has been built in the 70s or even earlier. So we're going to be hearing from some operators and others in the audience about how can we make sure that stock stays relevant for the future, whether it's through regeneration or repurposing, because today's customers aren't after what our customers of the past were.